Thank you for joining Check That Post podcast. Tonight's episode, of course, we'll be talking about family. So if you've been with this podcast, following this podcast for a little minute, then you know that this podcast is about life, love, and relationships. I'm your host, Jen, and these are my co-hosts.
Marjorie, Queen and Christina.
There's always like a little pause. Tonight's episode, again, is about family. Do you know somebody in your family that kind of standoffish or, what's the word, kind of like a recluse or just have a hard time coming together with family, and you wish you could kind of pull them in to kind of, show them that you love them, but you're not quite sure how to reach out to them. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. But before we go there, how was your day today?
It was good. Yeah.
Anything
I worked
special?
hard, got some rest, and I'm going to get more rest.
Yeah, we all could use more of that. And you?
Yeah, had a pretty good day. Thank God for that.
Okay.
My day was good. A little bit challenging, but for the most part, it's over. And tomorrow's Friday, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank God for Fridays.
Nice. How was your day?
I had a pretty decent day. Nothing to complain about. Like you said, it's over.
Right.
And I got tomorrow to myself.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah.
So now that we talked about our day, we hope y'all day was good as well. We all here are breathing and alive, so that's a good day within itself.
Right.
Yes.
Alrighty, so what are some tips that you could maybe kind of pull your loved one closer, as it were? Like, the holidays is over, now it's kind of like people back to their lives, back to working, like what can you do to kind of get together with family, because family is still here, still present, still alive, like, to kind of come together instead of just waiting for like family reunions. What can we do to, make that happen now? Anybody?
Me, like I say, plan ahead, start small, and it's tough with introverts. Like, I'm an introvert, so you have to approach me like a certain way so I don't feel overwhelmed. You just have to go really slow, and if it takes time, then just respect that. Like, I say at least plan like at least 3 weeks to a month out in advance.
Yeah, I mean, people have different schedules, so you gotta make sure it's a schedule that works for everybody.
Right.
But I never knew you was an introvert.
Oh yeah.
I don't see that,
I mean, I'm still a kind person, but I'm also kind of socially awkward. So it's like, hey, okay, bye. Like, if you don't, I'm always the first person to leave an event. Like, I can stay or whatever and hang out for maybe an hour or two before I start feeling like a little anxious. And then at that point, I'm like, all right, kids, start getting your stuff together. Let's go.
So anybody else experienced that?
Not necessarily myself. I stay. I stay. I have time. I help clean up. I do all that. I might. It's been a time or two, of course. Maybe have another event going on afterwards or something like that. But I love the events. I enjoy them. I don't have any anxiety or anything like that. I'm just comfortable, around my people. So it just comes natural, I guess, for me. Just something which is simple, but something that you could do to kind of engage with that family member that, you know, might not want to engage or is introverted or has anxiety or whatever the case may be. You know, just maybe try to get in their lane, like, you know, come to them with something that they enjoy doing. You know, if you want to spend some time with them, if they like to golf, you know, tell them, hey, let's go golfing. You know, like not just being you, but, you know, a couple of us can go. You know, just kind of ease your way in. Like she said, start small. You know, something simple as dinner. You know, then you can gradually move to something different or something else. But I need to take my own advice, so I'll be quiet.
What about you, Miss Queen Anne?
Well, I kind of like to be a little life of whatever party or engagement that I'm involved in. I like to make people feel comfortable.
Right.
And so far as the clean up after the event is over with, I kind of like that a lot too, because I'm the type of person that always busy doing something.
Right.
And it's kind of hard for me to just kind of stand in the corner or sit down somewhere. And I want to, you know, be doing something, so it helps get everybody finished up real quick. And kind of like, I just like having fun doing it.
Right.
You know, because I want people to be happy at that time. And I'm excited. I'm happy because we're together, and I love family.
Right.
And so a lot of times when I don't get to get with them, so I make the best of the time that I am. And so I'm going to pick at you, laugh with you, laugh at you. I'm going to do that kind of stuff, but I mean it, you know, in love. I don't do anything to try to offend anybody. I'm just doing some stuff that's just going to show you that I love you. I'm glad to be around you. And like I say, that's because I love family.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I got a question for you. Was you like outgoing during school, or no?
No, I always stayed in my own lane. I was always really quiet. Maybe you speak to me, I'll speak back, and I'm nice to people. But it's not necessarily like, if it's a small setting, I'm okay.
Yeah.
But like if it's like, if you get over about, I guess about 8-10 people, I'm like, and if it's just too much going on, it's not like organized and stuff, I start feeling weird.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. As for myself, I really don't do small talk. Like, I'm pretty much straight to the point. Like, if you come to me, approach me for anything, I'm looking at you like, okay, what you want? Not that you necessarily want something from me, but you know, that's just where my mind goes. What's up?
I like that too.
Like doing a little small talk, unless it's something I can relate to, I put it like that. But if it's something over my head, I can sit there and listen and enjoy the conversation, but don't expect me to be like, oh yeah, girl, yeah, I know what you're talking about, because that's just not what I'm gonna do if I don't know. You know, I'm gonna listen, and maybe I can learn something from that. So my advice, if you want to know my opinion, if you have someone that you feel in your family, or even if it's friends that you're having a hard time reaching out to and can't seem to pull them out of their shadow, sometimes people don't want to be approached. So you got to consider that as well. But if they know that you have their best interests at heart, they know you're not trying to harm them, I'm pretty sure they'll be open to it somewhat. And they might just tell you, you know, I just want to be alone. You know, I'm good. There's nothing wrong. I just prefer my own company. And there's nothing wrong. You have to respect that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely.
On the other hand, maybe they're waiting for somebody to reach out. Because 9 times out of 10, if a person is in their own corner and it's a group, family group or group of friends, say for instance you're at a party and they're over there in their own corner and don't seem to have nobody to talk to, and that maybe they just don't know how to approach the group. You know, they just so used to being to themselves. I mean, you know, You have to look at it both ways. My advice is try to reach out to them, and if they pull back, then respect their energy. Just leave them alone. Let them do them.
It's like reading the room.
Right. But don't get upset with them for that.
Right.
Because you don't know what people are going through. You don't know what's on people's minds. So
that's true. But don't not try again.
Right.
Right.
I agree with that.
Right.
As well.
Try and try again.
Definitely try and try again, because a lot of times, as you stated earlier, people be going through different things. And it's rather strange for how I see it is, you can grow up together, you have the best of love, and then time you get grown, then you start to part your ways. And then the craziest thing that I see is a lot of time we'll take perfect strangers that we see, we'll get along with them, they can talk trash to us, treat us any kind of way, and we'll still talk to them, we'll still call them our friends. But when it comes down to our family members, we don't want to give them that same energy. We'll be like, no, you did this, you did that, but that's your family member. And at the end of the day, you can't delete them. You know, you cannot delete them. You still got to be recognizing them as they're your family. And personally, I feel if you can give them the people that you didn't grow up with in your family, you can give them that energy, and they can treat you like crazy. You can give them that type of energy. You ought to be able to give your family members another chance and allow them to be able just to want to be family with you. But then it's not a life or death situation. Try to resolve whatever issues that you have so that you can be a family, because you got to always think about, we have nieces and nephews that is growing up, and they are watching family, and we don't want to be breathing the same energy out to them, because we're teaching them how to love.
That's right. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. So basically, just try to we in a new year.
Yes.
If you holding on to some bad energy from last year,
Right.
even from yesterday, even from a minute ago, think about this. You don't know when you're going to take your last.
Yes.
Whatever you holding on to, is it worth it?
Is it?
Right.
Like, is it really that serious? Because your breath can be taken at any time. We ain't promised the next second.
Right.
Is it really something worth holding on to?
Right.
And you lay down to go to sleep, and that person's gone the next day, and you wasn't able to say, will you forgive me?
Right.
Or I'm sorry.
Right.
Or whatever the case may be. Like, really? Is it really that serious?
Yeah.
Pull that family member in, hug them, let bygones be bygones. Let 23 stay in 23. Let's start fresh in 24.
Yes.
Or let 88 stay in 88. Or
Yes.
67 stay in
Right.
67.
Yes. Yes. All that. Let's start with new energy.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yes, because like she said, you got people watching you. You got kids watching you.
Right.
Kids growing up. And the thing about these kids, I don't even know why I went there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I just don't understand this generation. But it ain't for me to understand. But I do know this. I'm glad mine is grown. But I got grandkids. So I'm trying my best to lead by example. And I hope they be able to look at my life and say, well, if grandma did it, they don't call me grandma. They call me Mima. So if Mima did it, then I ought to be able to do it too. Like, if you can try to leave an example, a legacy, or whatever the case may be, something that they can be proud of. Like, don't worry about what nobody's saying about you, edgewise, because at the end of the day, you got one life to live.
Right.
You got one opportunity. Give it your best shot. try to do the positive thing. Don't fall into the negative. In other words, have your thoughts moving forward. Again, quit looking back. Let it go.
Let it go. Yeah.
Let it go.
Or try something different. Like we said a couple episodes ago, you know, if it's whatever the issue is, you know, it ain't been working, try something different.
Right.
You know, break those generational curses or cycles or whatever it may be. You know, it's on us. You know, if we want it bad enough, we can do it. You know, so. And I have done that, you know, with certain things, and I want to do it with other things as well, you know, and not just the bad stuff, but the good stuff too. You know, I want to teach my kids stuff that I did when I was little, you know, that I did with my cousins and stuff. You know, me and my brothers, we get our kids together. We want them to have that same bond and stuff that we had with our cousins growing up. So, just try again, like she said. You know, don't give up until, you know, if that person just say, look, you know, it's never gonna happen. You know, I appreciate you trying, but that's just not something that I'm gonna do right.
Because being together with family is important. Like with all you got going on in your little life, and I'm talking to me too. Family is important.
That's right.
And you need to make them feel that way. Make them know that you're thinking about them.
Right.
What is going? As many people as we text on these devices.
Yeah. That's true.
Text somebody, I love you. I was just thinking about you. I just wanted to say I love you. How hard is that?
Right.
It don't take 2 seconds.
Right.
That's it.
Most of us got it on auto dial, so like, come on, y'all, we can do better. We can do better.
They even got the voice text now, so you ain't even
Right.
nothing else. You just say it.
Right. What's her name? I don't have no iPhone.
I mean,
Siri. Siri, text my brother and tell him I love him.
Yeah. That's simple.
Okay.
It's
That's simple. It makes you feel good.
Yes.
Because you're giving out positive words.
Right.
You know,
And it's definitely gonna make them feel
Yes,
good.
definitely
Like
that.
all my little
Definitely that.
sisters thought about me.
Yeah. We can do this, y'all.
Because my face smiles when somebody sends me a text, and my face just light up. You know, because at that moment, you know, I might need that, you know, and love to hear this, that, you know, somebody is sending it through, you know, I love you, you know, and they didn't have to take the time to do it, but they did, you know, and so, you know, we got enough love to share.
Right.
Exactly.
We do, and, you know, as, you know, we move about, you know, our life, you know, and we, you know, God is love, you know, and He wants us to love, you know, and so when we share that amount of love with each other, love is contagious.
It is.
You know,
it
is so, you know, and that hug you when you can, and you know, you releasing something in the atmosphere, you know, and it works out for you, and you can walk away feeling lifted, and sometimes you can even feel it, you know, when whatever is on you. And you just, somebody come and say something to you, or they hugging you, and you feel it when it lives, and you know you can move on to the next stage. But we gotta portray what love really is. Everybody wants it. Everybody wants it. I don't know a person that lives to the same. I want love. Don't come here with that. Don't come here with that. Don't you bring that over here. No, they're like, I know. They want that love. They want that love, you know. And let's keep it positive out there, you know. Find you somebody out there that you can love on. Yeah, and if you gotta start small, you know, just like she said with the text. Do it with the text, and then, you know, take it further. Next thing you know, you'll be out, you know, eating, you know, walking at the park. You're doing something together, and you're back on that bond where you used to have. If you didn't have a bond, create that bond.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Ain't never too late.
Never too late.
Never too late to find love. And like she said, you don't know what a person's going through. They might be having a bad day at work.
Right.
Might be them just broke up with their boyfriend. And they'd be like, well, shoot, I just got this text. My sissy love me.
Yeah,
so if he don't love me, my sissy love me.
Yeah.
What you gonna do with that?
Yeah.
Like, you done made somebody's day.
Right.
Like, come on. It's not hard, y'all. It's not hard. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We're gonna commit to that in 24.
Yes.
I love you.
I love you. And I love you.
And I'm passing that on down to you.
But I was just thinking about, I would send Texas, sister Texas to my sister here, you know, and we'll text each other, and, you know, we'll say that I love you, you know, and she needs to hear that, you know, that we both need to hear that. And sometimes I text my nieces, you know, I do that. I'll text them and tell them, you know, I love them. Yeah.
And this little girl on Instagram, and I don't know her name, just say it, but she have these posts that she be making on Instagram, and she be like, "Hi, bestie." She got this little high-pitched voice. She said, "If don't nobody tell you, I love you, bye-boo." You know, and I be sending that to a friend of mine, and you know, just lift her up for that day. It ain't necessarily me saying it, but that's me saying it because I'm sending that love to her, and she receives it. So, it ain't hard, y'all.
It's not. I just had a little moment just now because I was just thinking about. I just had a girls trip recently, and I was talking to one of the girls on the trip, and she was just like, and I'm probably about to have another moment, but I was really just talking about my kids, and she was just like, "Can I hug you?" Like, and the fact that she asked for permission is what took me, but of course I was like, yes, like absolutely, like, and then when we hugged, it was like a weight came off of my shoulders. It was like I needed that hug, like, so I totally get that, like. I'm sorry, y'all.
Good.
Y'all know I'm a crybaby,
but that's okay because see, somebody needs to see that because as you know, you was talking, it just came to my mind about sometimes we have to share with people to come downstairs a little bit,
right?
Because sometimes up here we can be thinking things and stuff just be coming to mind, and it ain't even what other people are saying or other people are thinking. It's just sometimes we get off into that mode by ourselves, and we feel like, oh, they thinking this, or I don't like the way she was looking at me the other day, or no, I don't want to. I don't want to. Yeah, it'll be in your head, you know. And sometimes you just gotta come down. Air it out upstairs a little bit. Come downstairs a little bit. It's okay. Air it out and look at the most important things because God never put man here to be alone. You know, and so if he didn't put man here to be alone, then that tells you something right there. You need some people in your life. And take the family that you have. You can create new family as well. But definitely start with your own family. And love on them while you can. Like Sis was saying earlier. Love on them while you can. You know, so you won't have to be thinking the woulda, shoulda, coulda. You know, because you'll be done did that. You'll be like, you know what? I spent a lot of time in my sisters or my siblings' life, you know, and I'm good with that. You know? But, you know, never allow yourself to start imagining things. And you know what? When you start imagining things and things up here, you got to sometimes make that step and say, you know what, let me pick up the phone and call this because I'm finna shut the devil up right now. Because he helping my flesh think thing. No, we finna cut, we finna clear this up now. Hey sis, what's going on? What you doing?
It's probably not even what you was thinking.
Exactly.
They probably, they ain't checking for you like that in a negative sense. They know that that's my sister over there. And I don't know what's going on with her. But I wish she would call me. And even if she don't call me, I'm going to call her. And even if she don't answer, you made that step. So when they look at that device and they see that they missed the call from you, that's gonna they once you get the chain turning,
right,
then somebody got to apply that pressure, apply that oil.
Right.
That way they keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
And then that love get the flowing in there.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know what I'm talking about? I'm about to be preaching up in here. No, I'm just kidding.
What do you say, Mark?
What you got?
I don't know.
You got this.
Like, what if you just really want some alone time, and like somebody might call you, you ignore the call, or you just don't feel like being on the phone or whatever, because like when you're down for the day, you just down. So like, what can people like that do?
Take their time. We're not saying don't take your time.
Right.
You take whatever it is that you need.
And
But
then
once
just call back.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then you just explain it. I'm sorry I didn't answer your call.
Right.
I was just having a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And
Are you
if
Not that it's a bad moment. It's
Right.
just like the only moment you got to just do something.
Yeah,
Right.
you don't even gotta say that. Just be like, I'm sorry, I missed your
Right.
call.
Right.
You know?
That's it. Okay.
And it's good. Most people, they understand when you have children, you work, and you have a busy life, and they're not tripping about it because a lot of times you make I'm sorry, such and such, but that's how life is.
Right.
it's like we got busy lives.
Mm-hmm.
I just got out of work, but we coming into y'all lives
Right.
to tell y'all about love and
Right.
loving on that family. We ain't saying that y'all don't already know.
Right.
So we ain't saying nothing new.
Just a friendly
But
reminder.
yes,
And to our family that's joining us, we love y'all.
Yes.
We see y'all coming. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all for tuning in with us tonight.
Exactly. We're sending our love from the Check That Post family.
Everywhere.
Yes. Come on, y'all. All righty. So now it's time for Dear Jen. Okay, we have one. Dear Jen, I wish my children would get a better grandparent experience, but at the same time, I'm stuck on the thought of not forcing a relationship. Should I put my wall down and allow opportunity for me to initiate visits, or should I stand my ground and leave it up to them as grandparents to show more interest? Anybody got anything?
Well, seeing that I am a grandparent,
Very active.
yes, and so I'm definitely active in my grandchildren's lives, definitely that. But I think that it's up to the parents. I've had that experience before where the other grandparents wasn't as involved in my children's life. It was a problem to me. But it never happened on one end, but it did on the other end. But so I'm grateful for that. But if you can, try to get that relationship going because your children need it. They really do. And let them have their own opinion of what they think of that situation and not you just giving your opinion to them about how you feel about that parent, because they need to know, find that information on their own. But I believe that the other grandparents would really enjoy it. Don't always wait on the grandparents to come and do something. You take them kids to the grandparents and see if they want to be involved in their lives.
Right, and if they say they don't want to be involved, you did your part.
That's it.
So do your part.
Question though, what if the grandparent isn't like receptive and like, bring the baby over here to see me, or I want to see my grandbaby whenever. Like, what if the grandparent don't ever even be like, here's my address, you can bring the baby by, or whatever. Like, and what do you do? Like, say, where you live at? I'm about to pull up.
Sometimes that do happen, so you need to school your children, of that grandparent, and just explain it. Not at this time that you may not be able to have that relationship right now, but don't give up. And tell them that as they grow, and pray about it. teach them how to pray about it. That door will come open, and they'll be able to do that.
And that's parent as well. I feel like, for those types of parents.
You got anything?
I think that was great advice. But I do have a question. Like, okay, so how many times do you try before you just like we just gonna do our own thing?
Well,
or do you not give up like with family? Like, just keep trying.
Yeah. Seek for better ways, because if you try one way, it don't work. Try another way, and then that don't work. Then keep trying. Just don't give up.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Try it and try again, because when you give up, then in a sense, that's shortchanging the kids, because they, whatever the issue is, they ain't got nothing to do with it.
Right.
So it's like, this is your grandparent, or and I want y'all to have a relationship. But if they insist, or they tell you they don't want to have that relationship, or don't want to be bothered, or whatever the case may be, then pull back. But until that happens,
Keep trying.
Yeah. That's what I would say.
But wouldn't it hurt a kid to get like an open door of rejection too?
But if you're having that conversation with that, like she said, tell them it's not this time, but we will go again, or we will try again. Have that conversation with your kids. Kids not dumb. They're gonna pick up on energy. But if it's in a situation where you feel like that it's causing them to withdraw, or they say, well, I don't want to go there because she don't ever want me over there anyway, then in that sense, then fall back.
Okay.
But that don't mean don't try again.
Right.
I'll speak for me. If my children was young and I wanted them to have a relationship with their grandparents, and they always too busy, or if they haven't said out their mouth that they don't want to be bothered, then I'm gonna keep trying to set it up.
Right.
And if my kid tell me I don't want to go there because I don't feel like my grandma will like me or love me or whatever the case may be, then I will have a conversation with them at that time. And if that don't work out, and I will ask them, would you want to go next week, or would you want to go a month from now, or whatever, we'll try again. But until it becomes harmful, I will keep trying. That's me. So
Even if it hurts you,
Right.
until the child tells you that's not what it wants to do.
I was thinking about that one because it could definitely put a toll on yourself as well.
Right.
And then just to think that, like, dang, I ain't gonna keep begging these people to be in my child's life. Like, that's what I be thinking. I'm just speaking on myself, but me and my child, we done had plenty of conversations. So, like,
and that's the key to that open conversation.
Yeah, we're both still hopeful, on relationships changing, so I keep hope alive.
Right, and not to be expect a lot. Just expect a little bit as time goes on. Baby steps. It could be as much as taking a flower, as you, or sending it through the card. Sending it through the mail. You don't even have to put your name on top.
Right.
You don't even have to put your name on the inside of the card. Yeah. You could put something like "Always Here." Eventually, they're gonna get it. Who's sending me this?
Right.
And they're gonna be looking for them cards.
Send school pictures.
Right. Yeah. That's a good one. That's a great one, actually.
Make a phone call. If your child just don't have the energy to do it, pick up the phone, call them. If they don't answer, then just be like, okay, we'll try again.
And get in touch with the daughters and the sons. Get a relationship with them.
Family, right?
That family.
Find out why. Like, why you don't want to see your grandchild?
Right.
Ask questions.
Yes.
Can't hurt. Well, I think that'll be all for today because we are about time a little bit. So we hope you have enjoyed this episode of Check That Post Podcast. You can write a Dear Jen letter to checkthatpostpod@gmail.com or text 866-311-2251. Like, and subscribe to Check That Post podcast on YouTube. And tune in every Thursday at 7:30 p.m.